In this video, we will learn how to add drop-down, radio, and checkboxes to a form in React. So let's begin by how to use a drop-down. So in our earlier video, in the video previous to this one, we had discussed how to define a form using input fields. So we will follow exactly the same steps. So if you have not checked out the earlier video, you should go ahead and check out. The link will be in the description. So what's the process we will follow to use a dropdown? We will define a dropdown as a JSX using HTML and then link the attributes of the input field, the name, the value, on change, add the options. So for the within the select all the options using map or otherwise. And these would be the basic steps we would do to create a dropdown. So let's look at an example as to how we will do it. So we will start using the same form that we had defined in the previous video, simple form. And what we have done in the state for that form, we've just added an array of countries and we will create a drop down to select a country here. Just as we discussed in the steps, we have just gone ahead and added a JSX for the drop down. So a standard JSX we have put in, and within that we have just put in an option, select the country. So let's just go ahead and check it. So here we get it. So we had the name and the age from the previous lesson, and we have just added a drop down. Let's display all the countries that we were there that have been defined in the state. So let me destructure countries also. Const countries is equal to this dot state. And then within the options, here we can define a map, countries dot map, say C1 goes to, and we display just an option with C1. If we go and check here, so we get the country, the options have been displayed here. Once we have done that, let's link the other fields here like we did for the text fields in the previous lesson. So we have name, we would have a value. So let's go to our JSON here and add a field country, which is the country that the user would select. And let's destructure country also. So value is equal to country. Note that the name that we have given to this select is the same as this field like we had done earlier, and we will just define an on change is equal to this dot handle change. So the standard steps that we had followed, we are just following the same steps. Let's go ahead and test it. And here let me just open the components. Let me put it on the right. So this is our form, this is our component, and this is our person. So in select the country, if I choose United States of America, I just get United States of America. Why do I get that? Because in the handle change, we have just said s1.person input.name. So in this case, input.name would be country is input.value, and that is getting reflected. So if I change this to Canada, I can see this value has changed, India, and so on. So exactly the same way that we defined a text field, we have gone ahead and integrated a drop down in this form. So next, after drop down, let us learn how to use a radio, and the steps will be very similar. Define a radio as a JSX using HTML and link the various attributes, especially name, value, checked, and on change. So this is the process we will follow. So let's go back to our simple form and add a radio to it. So suppose we want to take the gender also of the person as an input, and the gender will be taken in the form of a radio as either male or female. So what we have done is we have just added in the JSX the HTML for a radio for male so far. Let's go ahead and check it. So here we get male. Now what do I want? The first thing I want that this should come to the next line. So we can just put a BR here, and we are getting the male. Now what other fields do we want to integrate? We have given the value, the type, the name. We want the checked. So what should be checked? If gender is equal to male. If the value of gender in that field is male, then we want to do it. So we'll need to also destructure gender. So let me destructure it. So this button would be, this radio would be checked, and I have my on change this dot handle change. Let's go ahead and check it. So if I refresh it in my simple form, in my person, I have age, country, gender, and name. Now, if I click on male, my gender becomes male, which is exactly what we wanted. Let's add for the female also. So I'll just copy this. And here the value will become female. I will check for female, and the label will also be female. Let's check it. So we get male or female. If I click on male, here we can see male. If I click on female, here I get female. So we have added the radio buttons also. After radio, the next thing we want to do is add a checkbox. So the process for the checkbox will again be very similar. Define a checkbox as a JSX using HTML and link the various attributes, especially name, value, checked, and on change. Let's go ahead and integrate a checkbox. So here for this person, we want to add another field which is say, call it say passport. And passport signifies whether this person has a valid passport or not. So it will be a true or a false. And the way we will take this input is using a checkbox. So what we have done is we have just added the HTML for a checkbox. The name of the checkbox is passport, and we will just integrate it in the form. So what all do we need to do? We need to define the checked, and checked here will be the same as passport. So let's destructure that field passport. And the other thing we want to do here is handle on change. So on change is equal to this dot handle change. So if we go ahead and test it, let's see what do we get. So we get the checkbox, and if you look at the person, we have this field passport. Now if I check it, it gets the value on. It does not get true or false that we wanted. So why is this the case? Let's go ahead and try and figure it out. So in our handle change, we should put a condition if input dot type is equal to checkbox. So if the type is checkbox, then what should we do? S1 dot person input dot name should be equal to input dot checked. Otherwise, it should be equal to input dot value. So that's a standard process we use so that we get the checked flag from the checkbox. Another thing that we typically can do in this checkbox is also give it the value, and we can just say call it say passport. So give it some value that we can use. Now if we go ahead and test it, let's test it. So now if I click on passport, it becomes true, it's a boolean. If I uncheck it, it becomes false. So in the case of a checkbox, we need to make this change in our handle change. So this is important, remember it, because this is a frequent mistake that we do. So we need to put this condition and handle it in this fashion. So now that we had added a checkbox for passport, let's say we also want to know whether this person has a valid driving license or not. So let's add another field here in this, say license. And again, this will be true or false. So we'll define a checkbox. So let me destructure that field license. And here I will just copy this checkbox code that we had put in. And what are the changes? The name will become license. The value is license. Checked is license. And what do we show here? We will show license. Now, if we go and test it, we get passport and license. And let me just refresh it. And now if I click on license, I just get that same field. So exactly the same process. And now this is working with two text fields. The handle change is working fine because we just made a check on checkbox. So it will work for both passport and license. Now that we have learned how to add a basic drop down, radio and checkbox, let's do a few exercises. So in the form that we have been developing, if the country is selected, show a drop down to select the city. Note that the city drop down should have cities based on the chosen country. So depending upon the country we have chosen, we want to show the cities of that country only. So here in our state, we have this field country list, which is a country and the cities within it. So if the country chosen is, say, United States of America, we want to show the cities in it. If the country chosen is India, we want to show the cities within India. So let's in our person, let's add another field city where we will store this value. And let's destructure city. Now there are a couple of things we need to do here. First, we need to know the list of cities based on the person. So let us figure that out. So I can just say const countries comma country list. Let's destructure that also. And we can say const cities is equal to countries dot find. What do we want to find? We want to find country such that c1 dot country is equal to country. And once we have found it, we will find the, what do we call that? Let's check cities dot cities. Now this should only be done if the country is chosen. So I can just put if country, which means if country is truthy, this is what we will do. Otherwise it is an empty array. So we have now gotten a list of cities. Now we will show a map. So let's just show it below the countries. So here what we can do, we want to know whether if the country is selected, then we want to do it. So we can just say if country is truthy, then we will show something, else we will not show something. So this is what we want to do. So here we will just create a JSX. So let me copy exactly the same JSX that we had put in for the country, and then we will modify it. So if country, then we want to show it. So label is city. What is the name? The name is city. The value will be city. That is in the person JSON that we wanted. This should be select the city. And now instead of countries.map, we will just make it cities.map. So this drop down will be visible. And when will this drop down be visible? When the value of country is truthy, which means it is not an empty string. Let's go ahead and test it. And we have the field city. Now let me choose the country, say United States of America. And this gives me a error. Cannot read property cities of undefined. So it's giving an error at line 60. Let's check it out. So what is the error? The error is that we used countries here. We should have used country list. That's the error. Let's go ahead and test it again. Let me choose United States of America and I get the city. Now if I choose the city, I get Los Angeles. If I change the country here, if I make it India, now there is a certain problem here that it is showing New Delhi here and the city is Los Angeles. So what we should have done here is that ideally once India is chosen, the city should have become empty. So what can we do here? Let's go back to our handle change and we can make a special case in our handle change. Input dot name is equal to country. So if there is a change in the country, then what should we do? Let me put an if input dot name is equal to country, then s1 dot person dot city should be an empty string. Then we should reset the value of city. So that is the condition I have put in here. That should make this work. Let's test it. So let's do the same thing. United States of America. I select Los Angeles. So we get that. Now when I choose India, you can see I get select the city here and the city is an empty string. So in this case, we had to specially do this linkage that when the country's value is changed, then we reset the value of city. So this has now solved our issue. Let's look at the next exercise. If the passport is checked, show an input field to enter the passport number. So here what do we want to do? If the passport is checked, below this we just want to show a text field, enter the passport number. So how would we do that? So let's go back here. Let's put in another field in our JSON, passport number, and it's initialized to an empty string. Let's destructure it also, passport number. And what do we want to do below the passport? So this is where the passport was. Let's put in, so if passport is true, then we want to show that text field. Otherwise, we don't want to show it. So let's copy a text field. We had put in a text field, say for name. So let me just copy that. And we will make the suitable changes to it. So if passport is truthy, we just show this text field and enter the passport number. This should have said not enter passport number. The name should be, the ID is passport, name is passport. ID is typically our choice whether we want to use it or not. Name is very important because we are using it in handle change. So if passport is true, this text field should be visible. Let's go ahead and test it. So now if I click on passport, I get a and I get a true here. Why do I get a true here? Let's check it. So the value should have been passport number. Let's test it again. If I click on passport, I get something, and B. If I again, I'm not being able to enter the passport number. So what? Why is there an issue in passport number? Let's check it out. Because the ID and the name we have linked to passport, they should have been passport number. So don't make these errors. Just be careful about them. Let's test it. If I click on passport, I get it. Let me enter it. And you can see this field is getting mapped to the passport number. If I uncheck it, the field goes away. If you want to also ensure that once you have unchecked it, this value is reset, we can do exactly the same thing that we did for country. And we can just put in if s1 dot person dot passport and not of this. So if this is not checked, then s1 dot person dot passport number is empty string. We reset it. So I have passport. Let me start entering it. Now if I reset, what happens here? This passport number has not been reset. Why was that the case? So this is saying if s1 dot person dot passport, not of it. So if this is false, this should have been passport. So that's the error. Let's test it again. Let me enter something. So this is fine. Now if I uncheck it, you can see that the passport number has been reset, which is also visible here when I check on this box again. So depending upon our requirements, we can put these kind of conditions in our handle change. The next exercise says, given an array of designations, show radio buttons to input the designation. So the person would have one designation. So we will show, given an array of designations, we will show a array of radio buttons to input the designation. So typically to handle the array of radios, what are the steps? So in state, there is no change because there will be a single field which will come in for designation. In handle change, again, there would be no change. In the render, we will now use map to show the multiple radios. So let's go ahead and make these changes. So here in our state, we have this array designations. And what we want is a field here designation in the JSON for the person, which is the designation of this person. And this will be entered using radio buttons. So let's first destructure this field designation and also the array designations. Now we want to create this array of radios. So let's go down. So here we can just say designations dot map. Let's say D1 goes to, and within this we will show our radio. So let's just copy the code for one of the radios. and let's make those changes. So the name is designation, which is the name of the field. The value will be the text D1, which is coming from the map. This should be designation equal to D1. And what should we show here? We should again show D1 here. So let's go ahead and see whether this is showing the right. So we get these fields. And now if I go into person, we can see designation. If I click on senior developer, you can see that. So this is working fine. If we wanted to put a label before it, let's go ahead and put a label. So I will just add a label. And maybe make it font weight bold. Choose the designation. Let's test it. Next, given an array of technologies, show checkboxes to input the technologies that the person is comfortable with. So the earlier one was designations, where we use radio buttons because there would be a single designation to a person. Here the user can choose multiple technologies, so we will use checkboxes. So what's the process for using an array of checkboxes? So the first thing, in the state, we will use an array for that field. So far we have been using strings, and for checkboxes we used a boolean, a string and a boolean, which got converted into a boolean. Here we will use an array because it can have multiple values. The second thing, in the render, we will use map. We will put the same name to all the checkboxes in the array, and the value will be the value we will show in the display. So that's the second thing we will do. The third thing, in checked, we will use find index to check whether the value is in the array or not. So we are maintaining an array in the state. We will check, we'll use find index whether this particular checkbox, the value of it is in the state or not in this array. And in the handle change, we will check for an input with the specified name, the name we have given here, and create a function to handle it separately. And we will see how to do it. So note, in this case, there are significant amount of changes, and all these changes need to be made: the state, the render, and the handle change. So let's go ahead and do them. So here we have been given an array of technologies, and we want to show them as checkboxes. And here in this case, for the user, let's put in a field x known, and we initialize it to an empty array. Let's go to our render. So let's destructure our text known and our text. Now what do we want to create? We want to create all the checkboxes. So let's go ahead and define a map. So here we can say x dot map, and let's say t1 goes to, and let's copy the for an array for a checkbox. So let me just copy that part. And let's start making the changes. So we said the name will be the name, common name, so it should be text known. The value in this case will be the value t1. We will come back to change, and that is the value we are showing. Now what do we want to do here? What we want to do here is that in the array text known, is this value t1 there or not? So we can just say text known dot find index. And whose index do we want to find? We want to find the index of t1. So tech such that tech is equal to t1. Now is this index greater than equal to 0? So if this index is greater than equal to 0, which means this array will have the value tech, which means checked should be true. Otherwise, checked would be false. So those are the changes we have made in the render. Now, once we have made the changes in the render, let's go to our handle change. So what is the change we want in this function handle change? So if we are inside a checkbox, if we have found a checkbox, let's check if the name is input dot name is equal to text known. So if this is the checkbox, then we need to handle it differently. Let's call it, say, call a function this dot update cbs. Otherwise, we will do the checked thing. Otherwise, we just do the standard processing. So this is the change we want, which is for this set of checkboxes, we will handle it in a special manner in this function update cbs. So what is update cbs? Update cbs will update this array text known. So if the value was checked, it will push it into it. If the value was unchecked, it will remove it from the array. So what all parameters does it need? Let's pass parameters to it. It wants input dot checked, what happened to it, whether it was checked or unchecked. It needs input dot value, which checkbox was checked or unchecked. So value is very important here. And the third thing it needs is s1 dot person dot text known. It needs this array, and what it will do is it will return this array. So we can just say s1 dot person dot text known is equal to this array. So it will update this array and return it. Now that we know the parameters, so update cbs is equal to, it gets three parameters. It gets the checked status, then it gets the value, and then it gets the array. Now if it is checked, then what should we do? We should just do arr dot push value, because that value is now to be pushed in. Else what should we do? Else we will need to find the index of it. So I can say let index is equal to arr dot find index le such that element is equal to value. Once we have found the index, we can say if index is greater than equal to 0, then arr dot splice index comma 1. So remove that element. So now that we have done both these things, we will return our arr. So this should work fine. Now the array has been updated. So we have done all our three changes. We have done the state change, the render, and the handle change. So let's go ahead and test it. So here we have our person. Now if I click on React, we can see in this array we have React, JavaScript, jQuery, AngularJS. If we remove any one of them, we can see this is working perfectly fine. Let me remove the last one, and it becomes an empty string. We could have also added a label here. Let's just do that. So the label would be choose the technologies, and let's also give it font weight bold. So let's test it. So this looks perfectly fine, and because this is slightly designed for that, this will look There should be a BR here, so we could have put in a BR. So this is looking perfectly fine. So we have done all those changes that we were looking for. What does the next exercise say? Integrate the form with the main component. So this is something we had done in our previous video also with the text fields. We had integrated it with the main component. The main component shows a table of persons with the functionality to edit and delete and a button to enter the details of the new person. So what we will do is we will pick up that exactly the same main component that we had last time and just make those changes and see how does this work. So this is the main component that we had also created in the previous video, and the only change we have done is that we have just added persons with the fields that we have put in. So we have just added a couple of persons, rest it's exactly the same code. So if I go ahead and run it, we get the two persons, but right now the edit is not working. So why is edit not working? Because we have not linked it in simple form. This is working without props. So let's now do those changes, handle it with props. So in the simple form, what changes do we want to make? So the first thing is person here will get replaced by this dot props dot person. These values, the countries, country list, designations, if and text, we could have passed it from the main component if that is the requirement. In this case, we do not intend to. So we are just passing the person as the props. The second thing would be that in the handle submit, we will just call this dot props dot on submit this dot state dot person. So that was the function. Let's just check whether that was the name of the function we were passing in the props. So on submit. So we have mapped the on submit also. So those were the two changes we typically want. Let's go ahead and test it. So now we have the edit. Now when I click on edit, I get all the values filled up. Are they showing filled up correctly? Let's go ahead and check it. If we edit on Williams, we know the tech knowns are nothing. Designation is also not chosen. So let me make the designation developer. Let me make it React and JavaScript. And if I click on submit, you can see here it's become React JavaScript. So those changes have happened. Let me add a new person, and in the new person, it has given us an error of find index. Now, why has this error happened? This error would have happened because if we go back to the main component, we are sending a person as an empty. So this is coming in as empty. So we will, in our simple form, make a change here. What's the change we want to make? That if text known is the default value of text known is an empty array. Let's go ahead and test it. Now, if I add a new person, let's say Jack 22 and submit, we get Jack 22 submit. If I go back to persons, I get these values. If I edit it, does this work fine? Yes, this works perfectly fine. And this is what we were intending to do. Let's look at the next exercise. Given an array of laptops, on the left show options to filter the laptops. So as you can see here on the left, we have been shown options to filter the laptops. And on the right, show the filtered list of laptops. So this is a kind of an interface we have seen very, very often. So here we would show, so brand and RAM are shown as checkboxes. and processor and rating are shown as radio buttons. And then we have this functionality clear all, which will clear all the choices we have made so far. And effectively, what it means, it will show all the laptops. So here we have two components: left panel, which is the form where we will show the checkboxes and the radio buttons to take the filter options. And there is the main component which will handle the left panel form as well as show the selected or the filtered laptops. In our state, here we have an array of laptops which has some data. And what we will also do is share this list in the description. So the state you can easily pick up from the description of this video. Now what we want to do is we want to send to this left panel form. We will need to send the options array, and we will send this options selected. So there are these two arrays also, these two JSONs. So the options array JSON is for the four options: brand, the RAM, the rating, and the processor. And the options selected are representing the choices made by the user. Because brand and RAM are shown as checkboxes, that is why their values, initial values, are empty arrays. And because processor and rating are shown as radio options, so because they will have a single value, they are shown as empty strings. So these two we will send to the left panel as props. So let's first do that. So in our render, let's just make a div here. Let's make a row, and within this, let's say div class name is equal to column 3 border bg light. So this would be our left panel, and we would show the form here. So we can just say left panel form. And what all do we need to pass? We will need to pass it the options array, the options selected. So let's destructure them. Const options array comma options selected is equal to this dot state. So we will pass that. So we will say options are selected is equal to options selected. Options array is equal to options array. And what we also want to do is send the function wherein any user choice, when the user makes a choice, any change has happened. So let's say on change option, this dot handle change option. And we had the on clear, we had the clear button. So let's say this dot handle clear. So these are the four props we want to send to this left panel form. We will need to define these functions on change options and on clear, which we will come back and do it. And the rest, what should we show? So the rest of it will be div class name is equal to column 9. And here let's show selected laptops. So the left side would be this panel, the right side will be the selected laptops. We will come back and implement the selected laptops and show their listing later. So let's first go to the left panel form and implement it. So in our left panel form, what do we need to do? We need to show checkboxes for brand and RAM, and we want to show radios for the options for processor and rating. Now there could be two ways of doing it. In the render, we could put the two checkboxes and the two radios using map, or we could also create a function for showing a set of checkboxes for one array and same for radios and use it within the render. Let's take the second option. So let me say we define a function show checkboxes. And within the return here, what I will do is I will just put exactly the JSX that we had put in for our earlier exercise where we had defined a technologies. So I will put that within a react dot fragment, and let me put exactly that piece of code here. Now obviously this will create issues because this needs variables. So let's create structures around it. So what do I need here? I need the label. So let me call this label. So I need a parameter label. Next, what do I need? I need the array. So on which I will use the map. Let's call this as option so that it looks generic. Value is option. Next, I need the name. So let's call this name. Next, I need the selected array. Which values have been selected? So this will be selected array. So selected array dot find, so that this selected value is the option in this array or not. And we can just say find index greater than 0. So we used find index, so we have done that. And what do we want to show here? Here again we want to show the option value. So this is our structure. So what all do we need? So we need these 4 parameters, and it should create an for us and give it to us. Similarly, we should do the same process for radios. So let's go ahead and do that. Show radios is equal to return, and let me put it within a react dot fragment. And what I am doing is I'm pasting exactly what we had done for the designations. Now let's parameterize it. I need the label. Now here we don't want it inline, so I'm removing form check inline because all the options are coming on new lines. Then I need the array. Let's call this option. So the value is option. Then we need the name. And we need the selected value. So this should be selected value. And here we will show the option. So very similar to that. So here instead of the array, we had a single value. So now that we have created both of these, let's render them. So let's go to our return. And here let's just say div class name is equal to container. And within that we want to show, so let's just say H4, choose options. Let's put in the button, and which is clear all. BTN warning, BTN say SM, and on click is equal to this dot props dot on clear. So we can just call that on clear function. So we have the button. Next, what do we need to do? We need to show the radios. So the first radio we want to show is this dot show check boxes. And what do we want to show here? This would be, let's destructure our props first. Const options select comma options. Let's just check it. What were the options? Array is equal to this dot props. So this would be, what is the label? The label will be brand. What is the array? The array is options array dot brand. What is the name? The name is brand. And what is the selected array? Options selected dot brand. So this should show our first checkbox. Let's go ahead and test so far. What do we see? So we get that whole thing here. Let's just make these slightly better. Let me make it say H6. And after the button, let me just put a BR. Let's test this. So we get our choose options, and we get all of this is working reasonably fine. Let's show our next option. So I'll just copy. So the next is we want to show RAM. Let's test this one. So we get all our RAM options. So this is fine. Next, what do we need to do? We need to show. So this will be, instead of show checkboxes, it will be show radios. And this is a processor. Let's test. So we get all our processor options, right? And then we need our ratings. So let's just show that. What's the name? It's rating. So we have just created the rating. Now that, let's test it. So this is showing us all the options on the left. Now what do we want to do it? We want this, that whenever a change happens, we will just reflect that change here. We don't want to save it here, because any change here will change the output on the right. So every change here just gets communicated back to the main piece. So how would we do that? So now let's define our handle change. So let's just start writing it. Handle change is equal to E. It gets the event. Now in this case, we are not using a state because we're not storing anything. We will just, whatever change happens, we will communicate it back to the main component. So the main component is sending us the options array, and it is sending us the options selected. The options selected are the selected options which are being shown. So what we will do is we will update this option selected based on the event and then pass it back to our main component. So what will we do for that? So for that, we will just make a copy of the option selected. So let's just say let s1 is equal to copy of this dot props dot options selected. Second thing we need to do is let's destructure the event. So current target is equal to e. So we have destructured our event. Now current target is not a good name, so we would prefer to use the name input. So we have renamed this to input or reassigned it to input. Let us now check whether we are getting the input from the checkboxes or from the radio. So we can say input dot name is equal to brand. So if the name is from the brand, then what should we do? We will call that function that we had created earlier also. So similar function we'll create update CBs. Else if the input dot name is equal to RAM. So these are our two checkboxes. In that case also we will call our update CBs. Else what should we do? Else we are getting the input from our radio buttons. So we can just say input s1 dot s1 input dot name is equal to input dot value. So we will put that value in. Now after that, what we can just say? We can just say this dot props dot on op. What is the prop we had sent? Let's just check that again. On change option. On change option, we will call with S1. So this is our strategy. Let's now implement our update CBs. So here we would just say S1 dot brand is equal to update CBs, and here we will just say S1 dot RAM is equal to update CBs, and this should have this dot update CBs. Now exactly the way we did it last time. So what all do we need? We need the input dot checked. So whether it is getting checked or unchecked, we need the input dot value, and we need the array in which this is going. So which will be s1 dot brand. Same thing here in the other case, where it will just be s1 dot RAM. Let's write this function update CBs. It gets a checked, it gets a value, and it gets an array. If checked, if the value of checked is true, then arr dot push value. Then we just need to push it because it has been selected. Else what do we need to do? We need to remove it like we did the last time. So let's find the index. Let index is equal to arr dot find index le such that is equal to value. If index greater than equal to 0, arr dot splice index comma 1. Now that we have removed it, we can just return the updated array. So this should work reasonably fine. and I don't know why this came up, so let's just delete it. Let's go ahead and look at the screen. So the screen is perfectly fine. Now we need to implement our selected laptops. So let's go ahead and do that. So here in our selected laptops, let me just call a function this dot show laptops. Show laptops. So this is one function we need to implement here. The second function we need to implement is handle clear. And the third function we need to implement is handle change option. So these are the three functions we need to implement in our main component. Let's start with handle clear. So in the case of handle clear, what do we need to do? All these values will become in some sense empty. So let's go back and do it. Let s1 is equal to this dot state s1 dot options select, we can just say is, and we can just copy this and put it. So this will become our option select if we do our handle clear, and we can just say this dot set state s1. So this is our handle clear. Next, let's implement our handle change option. So what would handle change option get? It gets the options selected array. This is what it gets from the structure. So now what do we need to do? So in this case, the option selected will be equal to option selected, and we can just update our state. So this change would work. So let us now implement our show laptops. So let's start by destructuring laptops, comma, option selected is equal to this dot state. We will need to filter the laptops based on the options, but let's first do the rendering and then we will do the filtration. So return, what it said, div class name is equal to container. And within that, let's render all the laptops. So laptops dot map lt goes to, and we will just show a row, div class name is equal to row. Now within each row, we will just show a column, standard usage, lt dot model. What are the fields we have? Model, brand, rating, hard disk. So let's just do that. So we have just displayed all the laptops. Let's go ahead and test it. So we get all the laptops. We should have put in a border. Let's do that. So we get all the laptops. Now we need to implement these filtrations. So let's do that. So we need to now filter our laptops. So let us start with the filtration. So we can just say const brand comma RAM comma processor comma rating is equal to options selected. Now we need to start filtering our laptops. So there are two kinds of filters we will need to write, because brands and RAM are arrays. So we need to filter it on that, and processor and rating are strings. So let's start with brands. So I can just say const L1 is equal to, or let's call it laptops1 is equal to laptops dot filter lt such that, now what should be that we should be able to do brand dot find index br such that br is equal to lt dot brand. Now if this brand index is greater than equal to 0, then we should be filtering it successfully. So for each laptop we are checking in brand, we are finding the index of that brand, lt dot brand. Does that exist? Does that brand of lt exist in this array? And if it exists, means it will get a find index of greater than equal to 0. Then we will filter it. Similarly, now we need to do the next filter. So const laptops2 is laptops1. So we are taking the output of the first filter. Now this is filter on, so we will just say lt goes to, now we are filtering on RAM. So RAM dot find index r such that r is equal to lt dot RAM, and this find index should be greater than equal to 0. So this is the next filter, that the RAM should also be there in that. Now there is a condition here. What is the condition? If these arrays are empty, then we don't need to filter. So we can just say brand dot length greater than 0. If the length is greater than 0, then we need to do this filtration. Otherwise, what should be it? It should be equal to laptops. So if brand had an entry, we need to filter on that basis. Otherwise, we need it not. Similarly, in this case, we need to say rams dot length greater than 0. Then we need to do this filtration. Otherwise, we will return laptops1. We don't need to filter laptops1. So these two filters are done now. Third filter is now processor. So we can just say const laptop3 is equal to, again we can say if processor is truthy, then we need to run a filter laptop2 dot filter lt such that lt equal to lt dot processor is equal to processor. In this case, it's a single string, so this would work. Else we will just return laptops2. Now once we have done that, we will do the same thing for now rating. Const laptops 4 is equal to. Now, if rating is truthy, then only we will filter it. If it's an empty string, we don't need to. Laptops 3 dot filter lt such that lt dot rating is equal to rating. Otherwise, we will just return laptops 3. So now that we have the filtered here, instead of using laptops, we will just use laptops 4. So now let's go ahead and test it. So if I choose i3, we can see we're getting only i3. Let me choose the rating 2. I get rating 2, 3, 4, 1 is not there. If I change the processor, if I do clear all, I get all of that. Now let's look at our RAM. There seems to be a problem here. I clicked on 4 GB. It is not showing. Let's go to our components and check. So in our components, we are getting 4 GB twice. So why is this happening? Let's go ahead and check. Let's start with our show checkboxes. This seems to be the problem. This should have been greater than equal to 0. So for the first value, it's missed it. Let's see whether this corrects the issue. If I click on Acer, yes, this is now working fine. I get all the laptops. If I select on RAM, now if I select on processor, I get those processors within it and those. Let's select all these. And now if I clear all, I get all of it. So this is a very nice and powerful implementation of this structure. It's a very structured piece of code. So would suggest that you go through it in detail and just ensure that you implement it on your own.